It's Friday night. This is the Blitz Scoreboard Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues. Here's your host, Brent Martineau.
Hey, welcome in on a Friday night that feels like football weather. Really does. A little chill in the air, maybe. I mean, hardly. It's snowing up north. It's nothing like that. But the temperatures have dipped into the 60s at night. Oh, jeans and sweatshirt weather is certainly okay when the sun goes down. You got to love that. It's that time of year. It's week 9 in the high school football season. You know, the playoffs start next week in some parts, not everybody, but some of the early games, the preliminary games and those play-in games will start next Friday night. And then the big bracket unleashes itself in a couple of Fridays from now. Already determined. We already know who's playing who. We've gone over that, and we'll get into that bracket, of course, next week on the show because we'll be right on the doorstep if everybody playing in the postseason. So these are final tune-up games, and we've got you covered tonight on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Brent Martineau coos along for the ride. Stuart Weber will jump in. Marcel Robinson will bring us our Game of the Week. Clay and Ridgeview, although it's not really looking like a Game of the Week, as Clay is routing Ridgeview right now. Undefeated Clay against 6-1 Ridgeview. And, well, it's not that close. We've had some great success with our games of the week in terms of being nail-biters down to the wire and showing it to you here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. That one's not coming down the wire tonight unless there's a miracle out there in Clay County. So let's go over some scores here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Glad to have you along. And again, if you're on ESPN 690 on the radio side or listening on the stream or however you consume the show, we want to remind you that we will show video as we are right now. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. So check in. We'll switch around to some games. I was at Creekside Buchholz. That one's still going on. I was at Atlantic Coast and Fleming Island. So we'll get to that. Stewart's at some games. Marcel's at that Clay Ridgeview game, and we'll peek in on some other games like Bartram Trail and Sandalwood as you're seeing it right now. But I'd like to start off the show and catch you up with some scores. And how about Matanzas beating Englewood 41-6 at the moment. St. Augustine 31, Ponte Vedra 7. 10-7 Christchurch over St. Joseph in the fourth quarter. Oakleaf 35, Nice 14. Nice was hanging around on that one, down by a touchdown. Now Oakleaf stretched the lead to 35-14. Eastside 7, Santa Fe 3. Menendez 21-18 over Orange Park right now. And Bartram Trail, as you can see, at 28-7 over Sandalwood. Sandalwood in danger of losing a couple in a row. They played Mandarin last week, Bartram Trail this week, so tough schedule. And Bartram Trail's getting the better of the Saints, who started 5-0 on the year. Baker County, all Baker County, 49-7 over Bishop Kenny as they continue to look strong here in 2020. Bishop Snyder losing to Bronson 12-0. Clay now 36-21. So Ridgeview trying to make it a bit of a game. We'll keep our eye on it. So maybe I spoke a bit too soon. Sorry, Panthers fans. 36-21. Ridgeview now just down 2 scores. So maybe they can make a bit of a comeback. Maybe it's not the miracle I suggested. Yulee 17, Baldwin 14. Now that's an interesting one. Baldwin's been very good this year. Yulee up and down at times. They hold a 3-point lead over Baldwin. Palatka 38, Middleburg 8. So the Panthers look good on the road. Buchholz 42-20 over Creekside. Buchholz looking good on the road. The Knights down 21-0 early in that game, and they have not been able to erase that deficit. I was over at that game. We'll take you there in a bit. Hawthorne losing to Zephyr Hills 12-0. Episcopal up on Paxson 21-6 at last check. Trinity 7, Rains 0. Stuart Weber there. We'll catch up with them in a bit. South Sumter and Bradford 17-6. Raiders beating the Bradford Tornadoes at the half. Up in Southeast Georgia, Glen looking good, 31-0 over Effingham County. Brunswick tied with Richmond Hill 21-all. And North Miami Beach, 28, Columbia, 16. How about the Tigers? They've played one heck of a schedule, and it shows in the record. They're winless on the year. When's the last time you've seen that out in Columbia County? And they're in a tough one at home, losing 28-16. North Florida Educational Eagles, 16. Fernandina Beach, nothing. Stewart was at that one, too, so we'll get an update from there. Keystone Heights, 14-0 over Interlochen. Lee gets the W, 29-3 over Gainesville. Mandarin wins again, 34-12 over Ed White. And I told you I was at this game. Fleming Island, 35-14. They jumped out to a 21-0 lead. They beat Atlantic Coast tonight, 35-14. 14. Stanton with a nice win over Zarephath, 42-20. And West Nassau beats Andrew Jackson, comes on the road and wins on Main Street, 24-12 was the score. Union County 42, Chiefland 7. And I think that's all we're going to get. Fletcher and First Coast will play Monday night, so Fletcher will play a couple times next week. That's one game to keep an eye on. And there's also a Tuesday night game and some Thursday night games because of Florida, Georgia next week. So we have a bunch of high school football next week. Talk about that a little bit later on in the show. So that's a look at your scoreboard early on here on a Friday night as we take you until 10 o'clock. But that's how it shakes out at the moment. And our game of the week brought to you by Honda the Avenues is Clay Ridgeview, 36-21. We'll have live pictures from there. And coming up on the show here today. We also have our Athlete of the Week, and we will share that a little bit later on. And we will continue to discuss all the big games leading into the playoffs here over the next couple of weeks. Coaches will join us throughout the show. Stuart Weber will join us in just a bit, and you're getting a glimpse of Bartram Trail over Sandalwood, 28-7 at the moment. All the scores on the bottom line. Again, if you joined us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, go check it out on ESPN 690 Jax. And if you're listening, we'll continue to update you on the scores and hopefully be updating you throughout the next hour on how some of the local games are going here on this Friday night. Week number 9 of the high school football season. Again, if you just missed it, just talking about the playoffs, they'll start next week. For some, they start in earnest the following week. We've got these big brackets built out that Stuart did, and on the wall that says it all, and it's just a lot of games. But everybody knows who they're playing. So there's 2 big keys to write about now. Start playing your best football of the year and stay healthy. So that's one of the most important things for a lot of these teams. Christ Church has taken a 10-point lead now over St. Joseph. They had a touchdown, 17-7. Is the score. We've got a couple close games, including Orange Park and Menendez. The Falcons lead the Raiders 21-18 at the moment. In the Bartram Trail Sandalwood game, you can see Bartram Trail, that's Eric Weatherly back there. Look out when he touches the football. And the camera can't even find him at the moment. But Sandalwood had to punt the ball away in the fourth quarter. Early in the fourth quarter, Bartram Trail in command of that game. Sandalwood started the year very nicely, had a blowout win and then a couple close wins, including one over Reball, one with an out-of-town team, Clearwater Academy, I believe it was. And then they lost last week to a Mandarin team who had played a rough schedule and beat Sandalwood. So now it could be 2 in a row in the loss column for the Saints. Young football team, but a talented football team. Sandalwood finds themselves down 3 scores on the road here tonight against Bartram Trail, as we'll continue to keep you posted on that one. A little bit of a surprise with that Creekside score. Buell's pretty good, 49-20 over Creekside. They've stretched the lead now, so that's going to be a tough one for the Knights. I believe that's senior night down there at Creekside, too, and a little surprise, a slow start in the first quarter. They got behind 21-0, and they just have not been able to catch up. Baker County's been doing this to some folks all year long. 49-7 now over Bishop Kenny is the score in the second half. That one en route to a running clock. St. Augustine looking really good tonight over Ponte Vedra, 31-7. Is the score in the fourth quarter there. So St. Augustine trying to get another W at home down in St. Johns County here tonight. 28-7, Bartram Trail over Sandalwood. We'll take you to Creekside game. That's 49-20. Buell's winning that one. We'll take you to Clay and Ridgeview and keep an eye on that as St. Augustine just added another touchdown. It's now 38-7. But our game of the week is Clay Ridgeview, brought to you by Honda the Avenues, and that is a 36-21 game at last check. All right, so that's the scoreboard. That sets the scene for the night. We'll get some coaches in. We'll get Stuart Weber in. We'll go around the horn all night long. We'll get you our Athlete of the Week as well, and we'll get you set on the final night for everybody in the regular season. There'll be another game next week. We got high school games littered all over the calendar for the next couple of weeks, including Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday and Friday of next week. So this is a fun time of year, and we've got the weather for it finally. This is the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Make sure you hang out with us until 10 o'clock. We hand off to the Friday Night Blitz. Let's take a break here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. You can check it out in your car, on the stream, on any of the platforms, including the video. And you want to see that if you're a high school football fan. We show you live action like we're doing right now with Bartram Trail leading Sandalwood in the fourth quarter right here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Bob, being the basketball historian that you are, you know more about basketball than all of us. Who would you compare Jason Tatum to?
A poor man's Kevin Durant.
Stugatz is dancing around the studio. Poor man's Kevin Durant. It means not Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant, though.
Means not Kevin Durant.
The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly clear skies this evening. A beautiful night as temperatures drop into the mid to upper 50s and then slowly go up toward morning with a few clouds. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jags Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. It's Beard's Diamonds' 40th anniversary sale. Save up to 40% off store-wide till November 30th.
As the seasons change, there's one thing that never changes: the importance of clean drinking water. A Connecticut system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. Now that's clean, and that's also why our family has a Connecticut system from CGC Water. Yours can too. Right now, CGC Water is offering a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. Connecticut Premier Softeners are non-electric and have twin tanks, making them super efficient, saving you money. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Schedule your free water test today and get peace of mind knowing your family's water is safe water. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Remember, this is a limited time offer, a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. Financing available with approved credit. Just call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Donato's Pizza is proud to support the Florida State Seminoles. When it comes to pizza for game time, we can suit any taste. From 100 pepperonis on a large loaded edge-to-edge on smoked provolone and Romano, to our delicious and healthy cauliflower crust tomato bruschetta with plant-based sausage, to mariachi chicken, to the founder's favorite, and more. We offer a convenient pickup window or prompt delivery. Just give Donato's a try. That's all we ask. Order at 904donatos.com or call 904-DONATOS on your phone.
Hey, Jacksonville, your friend Sean Hannity here. Many of you know I was a former general contractor, so I know what to look for when considering a quality roofer. And Big Fish Roofing is the only roofing company I have endorsed in Jacksonville, and the reason's very clear. Big Fish does not require any upfront payment. Plus, they do quality work every single time. Big Fish Roofing is truly the big fish of roofing in Jacksonville. You can find them online right now at Big Fish Roofing, one word, bigfishroofing.com.
Now, back to the Blitz Scoreboard Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues.
Hey, welcome back to the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Brent Martineau along with Coos. Stuart Weber will join us in a bit. Marcel Robinson out at some games as well. Olivia Tassley shooting some games. And here we are in late October, Halloween Eve. The weather is perfect for high school football. And for some, it's the end of the regular season in high school football. Playoffs on the horizon next weekend for everybody in a couple of weeks. Remember, this is the year that things were a little bit different. I say that's the understatement of the year. I think a little bit different. Things were a lot of bit different. And so everybody who wanted to be in the postseason is in the postseason. No district champs, no qualifying for the playoffs. You're in, you're in. And so there's a huge bracket and predetermined, already done, seeding, random draw, all that. And it's ready to roll in high school football. So it will start next week, and really everybody will get going in 2 weeks. That's the scene. That should be a lot of fun as we do the Blitz Scoreboard Show during the playoff season. Looking forward to that. Clay now beating Ridgeview 50-21. So since we took a break, they scored a couple of touchdowns. Ridgeview, in our game of the week brought to you by Honda of the Avenues, came back, made it 36-21. Now all of a sudden, Clay, bam, right back at him. Clay is looking fantastic. Trey Griner, the quarterback, he's been outstanding, and Clay is getting it done. They are putting up a ton of points on the scoreboard. And we should be able to take you to that game. That should be routed, by the way, Kuz. As I tell you, I was going to text you, but I might as well just tell you live on air. How about that? So we should be able to take folks there. If we have an issue with it, we'll figure that out from a technical standpoint. Right now, you're looking at Menendez and Orange Park. This game pretty close, 32-21. Menendez is beating Orange Park. This one was close just moments ago, and now Menendez added the touchdown to pull away just a bit. Matanzas beating Inglewood 41-6, as you can see on the bottom line. St. Augustine 38-14 over Ponte Vedra. Ponte Vedra just added a touchdown. Look, Christchurch, since we've come on the air, they've added a couple of scores now, 24-7 over St. Joseph. Oakleaf looks like they'll get another W with Walter Simmons the third, 35-14. I was down at the Buchholz Creekside game, 49-20 now is the score. It was 28-14 when I left, so it was a high-scoring affair in the first half, 28-17 at halftime. And now Buchholz is really pulling away in the second half as they've had Creekside's number all night long. Baker County rolling again, and they have been so good outside of the one loss to Bowles. They've been able to be very strong all year long, routing a lot of people and looking good along the way. Trinity Christian's playing Rains. We'll take you and talk to you about that one because Stuart Weber is there, so we'll be able to share at least what's going on. At last check, Trinity Christian was up 7-0 in that football game. I was also at Atlantic Coast and Fleming Island, so Fleming Island looking good behind Timothy Thomas and that offensive line. They're really controlling the tempo of that game and frustrating on the defensive end. Ridge Jacobs and company, Pat Bryant. As while I was there, Atlantic Coast couldn't do much on the offensive end, and 35-14 at the end of the day. Fleming Island gets another win as they continue to win football games here in the fall of 2020. On the horizon, the playoffs next for those guys, of course. We'll take you to the Friday Night Blitz at 10:30 on Fox 30. No World Series to contend with tonight. No NBA Finals. We're back everywhere we're supposed to be here tonight. Friday Night Blitz, 10:30 on Fox 30. We'll have all the highlights for you wrapped up in one. And, of course, you're listening on ESPN 690. You can also watch this show, the Blitz Scoreboard Show, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We've really had a blast doing this show this year, and we're not slowing down. We've still got playoff action along the way for the next few weeks, so it should be a lot of fun as we continue to look at some of these games in live action. Menendez and Orange Park. Menendez with a 32-21 lead right now over Orange Park. Orange Park, a nice win last week. Coach Tom McPherson got his 100th win, so congratulations to Coach Mack on that W. Right now, he's going to need a bit of a comeback for the Raiders if they're going to get win number 101. Menendez winning this game 32-21 as we show you a live look inside the Menendez and Orange Park football game here tonight. I want to roll over some scores and some of the scores to pass along. Make sure I get a refresh. Yes, I got to do that. Sometimes I forget. 49-7, Baker County, Bishop Kenny. Baker County rolling. Westside 21, Terry Parker 7 is the latest score we have from there. 35-14, Oakleaf over Nice, and now it's 28-13 as Sandalwood has scored a touchdown. So what do you know? Maybe still plenty of time left in that game. Sandalwood could try to make a late rally and come back. They were down by 3 scores just a moment ago. We'll take you back to that game in a bit. Clay leading 50-21 now in our Game of the Week, brought to you by Honda the Avenues. I'll tell you what, the Clay Blue Devils just keep scoring and scoring and scoring. St. Augustine doing a lot of that tonight too, 38-14 over Ponte Vedra. Ponte Vedra now looking to, they're sliding a little bit in the middle of the season. They did lose their quarterback, Jacoby Myers. That makes it tough. They lost their head coach as well, who resigned. And so certainly a little bit of adversity for the Sharks going up against St. Augustine tonight, now trailing 38-14. Action Sports Jack Stuart Weber, I think, made a triple hop along the way today, especially that Trinity Christian Rains game he was at. He joins us right now on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Take it away, Weber. Where were you? How's it out there? Nice little chilly, cool night on a Friday night here in late October.
Yeah, it was fantastic out there today, not going to lie. Greatly enjoyed it. Shoes are fine. That's a win.
Shoe check.
A win. Shoe check. You got to get your shoe check in. Yeah, I hit 3 stops tonight. started with Matanzas and Englewood, and Matanzas able to take care of business there. The Pirates, who are as close to being in our viewing area as you possibly can be without actually being in it. They are, if you don't know where Matanzas is, it is a couple miles south of the border of St. Johns County. So they are right there. And so maybe some of them are watching and listening, and if so, you'll see some Matanzas highlights tonight because they did a lot of good things against Englewood. Second stop, North Florida Educational Institute. First I've ever been actually out at their new field, and I'm not going to lie, it's gorgeous.
They did a good job with it.
Yeah, they got a new turf field out there. I will say the lights need to be adjusted just a little bit because, you can't see the end zones. Other than that, it's a little dark in the end zones. Other than that, they didn't need to see in the end zones apparently because they were finding them, and they were up 16-0 on what has been a good Fernandina Beach team this year. I mean, the Pirates have, taken care of business and won some big games this year. So a little bit of a surprise that NFEI was handing it to them there early in that game, able to take advantage of some early turnovers and turn it into points. But, NFEI was doing some good things, and, tall receiver out there who, can go out and make a catch, and never hurts when you got a guy that's got the height advantage over anybody he lines up against, and that was Troy Edwards, who's a 6'4" wide receiver, only a sophomore for NFEI, but certainly has the ability to grab it anywhere near the end zone, and he certainly did that a couple times on, I think it was two-point conversions. I saw him haul it in both times. So some good players there at NFEI, and then, like you mentioned, the final stop, Trinity Christian Academy, where the Conquerors and Reigns Vikings going head-to-head. This will not shock you. It was a defensive struggle, and both of these teams really keying in on the other's offense and making some big plays on defense. Trinity Christian with a 7-0 halftime lead at last check when I left. So not a lot of scoring when I was there because both of those teams were handling their business. And when quarterbacks tried to take off and scramble, it was usually 1, 2, 3 guys there to meet them. And Ja'Cory Jordan found that out firsthand a couple times, had a bad fumble in there as well because Reigns was all over him. So, give credit to both defenses for really coming to play in that one.
Yeah, that's and boy, I tell you what, Trinity Christian, man. I mean, the defense they've been playing the last few weeks, they got to be extremely happy going in the postseason in a couple of weeks now. They a shutout, and then was last week a shutout as well, or 6 points maybe they gave up, I think, against Lee. Yeah, 6 points,
yeah,
and now another shutout so far. I mean, that defense for Verlin Dorman is playing lights out.
Hey, if the other team scores points, you're probably going to win the game. So that's not a bad strategy, especially in a lower classification as Trinity Christian is going to go up against here in the upcoming playoffs. If that defense can keep doing what they do, keeping guys at the end, and, you just got to find a little bit on offense and shoot. They've got offensive weapons in Ja'Cory Jordan, Traylon Webb, the wide receiver, Marcus Burke, the big-time wide receiver going to Florida. Traylon Webb's the running back, sorry. And as we know, they have a really good kicker as well who came up with that clutch kick to beat American Heritage 3-0. So certainly the right pieces are there for a nice playoff run for the Conquerors in 3A this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else catching your attention here tonight? Clay is continually looking good. We're watching that game right now, and Trey Griner and company. I'll tell you what, man. Alcurious Ray and Trey Griner, they are lighting up that scoreboard that Cliff Averill donated to the school. I mean, it's like 50 points every single week, and they're putting it on Ridgeview 50-21 right now, late in the third.
Yeah, I was a little worried that this was going to happen. Obviously, you go into it with the optimism that it's going to be a great game as your game of the week and the one you pick. But I was a little worried because Clay has been doing this to teams. They have this ability to run away with it, and shoot, a guy like Ray is just a game changer for that offense. As I'm watching him take off again, I got the feed up here in my office as well.
He is.
And there he goes again. So, certainly a great player for Clay and a big reason for them being undefeated thus far this season.
He's one of the best running backs statistically, not only in the area, but in the state right now. And I don't know if he just held up 3 fingers or 4 fingers, so he must have scored a few times tonight as they continue to put it on him. Impressive, though. It's really impressive what Clay's been able to do. So we'll keep an eye on them in the postseason. Hey, one last thought for you here. Next week, loaded up with games, man. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Of course, some of the playoffs begin next week.
Yeah, and those are the ones I'm really looking forward to is, all this season we've had all these games that certainly mean something to the kids and the coaches and the communities, but at the same time, the record doesn't matter at the end of the year, It might matter in your head a little bit, but when it comes to the postseason, that's when you got to win or go home, So once we get to that actual part where, the brackets are being used and we get some games that matter on that level, I'm really excited about that. That just brings a new element, a new added feel to those games and those experiences for the kids. So that'll be fun to see. And like you said, hey, we got games all over the week, man. It's great. Can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Stuart Weber, Action Sports Jax, he puts it all together for the Friday Night Blitz coming up at 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:20 on CBS 47. All right, man, get to work. We'll talk to you in just a bit.
Sounds good.
That is Stuart Weber doing a nice job this week helping us out on 3 to 6 p.m. on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. And he is the man when it comes to our high school football coverage. Does a fantastic job. Built the best brackets that ever existed in local TV, and you'll see those unveiled in the next couple of weeks. So I appreciate Stuart Weber jumping in. As we continue to take a live look at what has become a blowout game in our Game of the Week, brought to you by Honda the Avenues. Clay is really putting it on Ridgeview now. They look super strong, and we mentioned it. Trey Griner at quarterback. We've had him featured in our Blitz QB High Five, and also Alcurius Ray is just outstanding and continues to get it done. We will keep you posted on this score now, 57-21 as the clock winds down in the third quarter, and that clock will continue to run, so this game won't last too much longer. Keep the scores scrolling along the bottom. Let's take a timeout, Coos, here on the show, on the Blitz Scoreboard show. We'll try to get some coaches in along the way, and also some more scores and highlights as well. Take you down to Creekside, where now they trail 49. Actually, they lost. It's a final 49-27. We'll show you some of the highlights of that one. Buchholz really looking good tonight out of Gainesville, coming up here to St. Johns County and beating Creekside by 22. We'll be back on the Blitz Scoreboard show. Brent Martineau, Coos, Stuart Weber, Marcel Robinson giving you live pictures. Clay and Ridgeview of Olivia Tassily as well, out and about here on a super Friday night for high school football.
Thursdays at 4 p.m., Action Sports Jax talks Florida State Seminoles sports and is giving away 2 $25 Donato's Pizza gift cards. Special thanks to Donato's Pizza. Every piece is important. And hear every Florida State Seminoles football game here on ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for the Florida State Seminoles.
Back to school also means back to Friday Night Football. Get to the game in style in a new Honda from Honda of the Avenues. Their incredible summer clearance event is going on now to make room for the new 2021 models. Find great deals and haul the whole team in a new Odyssey, Pilot, or CRV. Plus, Hondas are safe and reliable, just what you and your team need. Don't miss kickoff. Stop by the Honda Giant on Phillips Highway, just a few yards south of the Avenues, to see all their inventory, or start looking right now at HondaoftheAvenues.com.
Donato's Pizza is proud to support the Florida State Seminoles. When it comes to pizza for game time, we can suit any taste. From 100 pepperonis on a large loaded edge-to-edge on smoked provolone and Romano, to our delicious and healthy cauliflower crust tomato bruschetta with plant-based sausage, to mariachi chicken, to the founder's favorite, and more. We offer a convenient pickup window or prompt delivery. Just give Donato's a try. That's all we ask. Order at 904donatos.com or call 904 Donatos on your phone.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Welcome into the show, a name you know. If you've been listening and watching ESPN for a long time, I know you know him. We're going to call him one of the forefathers, if you will, of sports radio, Mike Greenberg.
Thank you. Forefathers is an interesting, that's fascinating. Every day, as I talk to more people, I get older and older. So that's kind of funny.
Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. in your car or stream them. ESPN690.com.
Now, back to the Blitz Scoreboard Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Brett Martineau, Kuz along, Stuart Weber, Marcel Robinson, Olivia Tashley out and about on a Friday night. Brand new show in Jacksonville here in 2020. Every Friday night from 9 p.m. until 10 p.m. leads up to our TV show, the Friday Night Blitz, 10:30 and Fox 30, a half hour full of highlights. We'll have all the games. We'll do that again at 11:20 as well. But this show, we're taking you live pictures from some of the games right now. Clay really putting it on Ridgeview, 57-21 in our game of the week, brought to you by Honda of the Avenues. And so that's a game we're keeping an eye on. Menendez and Orange Park is a good football game right now. So we'll keep you posted on that one as well. Bartram Trail and Sandalwood in the fourth quarter. So all those scores scrolling along the bottom of the screen. And we also bring in some coaches as well, and why not? And let's go to Fleming Island right now, or at least I think he might have made his way back home. Coach Springs, after a win, 35-14 over Atlantic Coast. Hey, Coach, congratulations on another W here in the fall.
Thank you.
You guys, this is football weather tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nice outside. Very nice.
Yeah, I no doubt about it. And your kind of weather, you guys, at least while I was over there at Atlantic Coast, I saw most of the second quarter looked a lot like ground and pound, and you guys dominated the line of scrimmage, at least in that first half.
Yes, sir. We're going to ground the ball and pound the ball. You know, with a big back, Timmy, our O-line is blocking good. And then, you know, when Timmy get tired, we bring in Sam, our speed back. So all that worked pretty well tonight.
Yeah, how are you guys playing overall? I know you had the tough loss to Oakleaf. Buell's looking good again tonight, beating Creekside. They got you last week by a field goal. But how do you feel about your football team as now we're on the doorstep of the postseason?
I feel like we are a good football team. There's a lot of mistakes that's happening now that usually happen in the playoffs. So it's good that it's happening now so we can correct it, you know, with kids and coaches, so we can move further and maybe, you know, have a good run in the playoffs.
You guys from I don't know how experienced, everybody's got the mix, right, a young and old, but I feel like there's a maturity about your football team as we've watched them this fall and watched them a little bit up close tonight, whether it is Timothy Thomas or TK Kosak or guys like that have been in the program a bit. Am I reading that right? Do you like the maturity of your football team?
Yes, they're very mature, especially our leaders, our starters, our seniors, some of our juniors and sophomores and freshmen. They're all mature. That's how we try to build our program, and they fit right in with it, and they learn to embrace the grind, and they just do what they're supposed to do.
Am I reading this right? Coach Springs from Fleming Island with us right now. Looking at a schedule, are you guys not playing at all next week and taking that week as almost a bye week before the postseason?
Yes, sir. That was our bye week. We had Tallahassee Garvey on there till they made their, they're going to play in county. So that we had to cancel that game. So that is our bye week now to get ready for Tate.
How much is that a good thing? Do you like it that you get a week to rest up and then also a couple weeks that you can now focus on your one opponent, the one that will start you off in the playoffs?
Yeah. There's pros and cons of it. I like it now because we really need the rest. I need the rest. The kids need the rest and heal up. And then we get, spend the extra two weeks on getting prepared for our next opponent. But the cons of it is we got to make sure that we don't come out flat. We got to come out clicking on all cylinders at a high intensity.
Yeah, that's the catch, right? You take a little bit of a break, but you heal up, you rest up, you got some fresh legs, but you also want to be, like you just said, clicking on all cylinders. How has this year been for you? I mean, does this feel, now that you've played as many games as you've played, does it have a sense of normalcy to it, or does it still feel so odd?
It's 50-50. It still feel odd because we still wait to see, if we're going to get a phone call with anybody or – it's a lot of stuff going on right now, and, we just have to stay the course and pray for the best.
Coach Damian Springs with us here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Hey, enjoy the week off, get rested up, and then go make a run in the postseason. You guys have been fun to watch all year long.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You bet. Coach Springs from Fleming Island, he's done a fantastic job, and you can tell. I asked him about the maturity of that team. I mean, Timothy Thomas, Kosak, those kind of players. I mean, they've got guys that have been in the system. He's been around there. He's had a lot of success. They've been to the postseason before, and they're businesslike, I guess is the best way. You don't really see high school teams that are super businesslike. There are some in the area because of the programs and the coaches that have been there, and they know what the expectation is, the standard. And so you do have a level of that. But it's still kind of unique when you can see it. And we're not super close to any of these programs. We kind of see them on a Friday night here or there. And I could feel that tonight. And no doubt about it, you get the feel as that. Who's joined? I don't even know. I'm going to be a surprise. Is it Coach Ricky Armstrong? Is it Coach Bobby Ramsey? Oh, Coach Bobby Ramsey jumping in for Mandarin. Excellent. Another nice win for the Mustangs. What's up, Coach?
Yeah, I feel like I was the answer on a trivia question.
That's awesome. Well, hey, we love that you're calling in. I just, sometimes I don't know. And
right.
Another nice W, man. That's 2 in a row for you guys.
Yeah, it was first half went really well for us offensively. We didn't punt, and I think defensively we created a lot of field position for our offense, and just did those things that when you do them, it shows up on the scoreboard, and you put your offense on a short field, you limit their other team's best player, and force them to have to do things that they're not used to having to do or wanting to do, and then offensively, we threw and caught the ball extremely well, and our offensive line helped us in the run game.
Jason Patterson, who you're talking about, he's a heck of a player for Ed White, and you're able to slow him down a little bit, or at least were you happy with the performance you had against him?
Yeah, I think the first half we did a really good job. Second half, he came out and got going some. He's a really good player, and a kid like that's he's gonna make some plays. It's just you can't let him have a career night against you or be the difference in the game. You have to make sure that you contain him enough to where other players have to do things to beat you, and I think we did a good job of that.
Bobby Ramsey, the head coach of the Mandarin Mustangs, after a 34-12 win over Ed White. I asked you this last week when you joined. I mean, you guys had such a tough go of it, tough schedule, and then you got a nice win over Sandalwood, now another nice win. I mean, are you starting to feel like you're stacking these things up a little bit? I know the W's say it on the schedule, but do you feel like you're stacking up good plays, good quarters, good practices?
Yeah, I think coaches are again. I think I said last week. I think we established an identity. I think we found balance offensively. And our quarterback is playing really well, and I think defensively, our staff is really dialed in terms of game planning and practice, and the personnel that we've finally been able to get out there and have, the same set 11 in the same positions, and then some guys behind them who can come in and give you some plays, and when you're able to have that. Organization and practice to where, guys get those reps and they accumulate over time, you start to see the production.
How about that, by the way? Did you like my coach speak there, stacking them up? You think I've been hanging around the Jags long enough? Stacking up good practices, stacking up good days? I mean, that's a coach speak right there.
Yeah, I felt like I got to step up my cliche game when you said, I was like, oh, man, I got. Hopefully, I'll come up with something.
Very good. Hey, you play a Thursday night game against Fletcher. I'm assuming that's still on. But
it's Friday now. It's Friday. It was moved to Friday.
Oh, so it will be Friday. Well, that's unusual.
Yeah.
Do you know any insight on that? Because usually, because of no crowds or less crowds with the Florida Georgia game?
Yeah, the flexibility to be able to have the security that they need at the games, and with them not playing until Monday, it gives them an opportunity to have get some practices in before the game. So we kind of thought that the move was going to happen to Friday night. So which is fine. It keeps it as a normal week for us, and we don't have to change our schedule Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I didn't even think about it from a security flexibility standpoint, but it makes sense, and Fletcher is playing Monday night. All right, last question for you. How much will you guys comb through the tape of Sandalwood last week, considering you're already playing them in a couple of weeks? I mean, will you guys spend a lot of time looking at that thing and game planning far more in advance than a normal playoff game?
I don't think so. Fletcher's a really good team, and Mandarin Fletcher is a pretty big game, and it's played every year this week, normally in the season at the end. And kind of like I said last week, I think you have to concentrate on each week individually. I don't know in high school that having that spending multiple weeks getting ready for a team has the same effect that it has in college or the pros. I think you have to keep your kids kind of I think rhythm and consistency is important. And I've always felt like when you start looking ahead, you really leave yourself susceptible to bad things happening in that game. If you don't go out there and play well, if your players aren't focused, injuries can happen more likely than maybe not at times. And you really have to be careful about that. If you don't have a game this week, obviously, you're looking ahead. But I really think it's important to stay in that rhythm and routine of preparing for each opponent individually, going out there, playing your best, the kids playing their best football. Because you have to – if you go out next week and you don't play well, you've taken a step back as a team. Mm-hmm. And the idea is to continue to improve. So we've got a lot of things we have to get better at.
Bobby Ramsey with us after a 34-12 win over Ed White. Last one, what's the little dude going to be for Halloween tomorrow?
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Ah, very good. I look forward to seeing some photos of that one. Have a lot of fun. Yeah. Enjoy the weekend, and good luck next week against Fletcher. Thanks for jumping in, man.
You do the same, Brett. Thanks a lot.
You got it. That's Bobby Ramsey, Mandarin football coach, playing good right now. Playing good. They took a few lumps early on, and now all of a sudden a win against Sandalwood. Good Ed White team as well, 34-12, and Bobby Ramsey's got them cooking at the right time, heading into a good rivalry game against Fletcher, and then back against Sandalwood in the first round of the playoffs. See, that's what you get in the playoffs. And again, we're not going to spend a lot of time talking playoffs, but it is on the horizon, and you get Mandarin Sandalwood to open up the playoffs. I mean, that's the random draw nature of this. There's no seeding. There's no any of that. Well, there is seeding, but it's random draw seeding. And so it's going to be a wild, wild west in the postseason here in 2020. A couple of scores pass along, if we could. Baker County 49-7 final over Bishop Kenny. Bartram Trail leads 28-13 over Sandalwood. Clay, I think it's still 57-21. I kind of, my eyes got off that game, but you've been looking at it right here on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Clay is doing a number in our game of the week against Ridgeview, brought to you by Honda of the Avenues, and that one's running clock in the fourth quarter, 57-21 at last check, unless I missed something there. Palatka was beating Middleburg 20-15 on my scoreboard. Episcopal 21-6 over Paxson. I don't know if we have an update on that because that was a halftime score. Fleming Island, we just had Coach Springs on. They beat Atlantic Coast 35-14. Oakleaf wins 35-14. St. Augustine wins 44-14 over Ponte Vedra. Buchholz 49, Creekside 27. 35-32, Menendez beats Orange Park. So, I think I might have given that score wrong earlier, or I had the score wrong, or I read it wrong. I don't know what I did. But one way or another, it's now final, 35-32. What a heck of a football game. We showed you a live peek in on that one a little bit earlier. 35-32, the Falcons beat the Raiders here tonight. Just had Bobby Ramsey on. Mandarin over Ed White, 34-12. Matanzas beats Englewood, 41-6. The Lee Generals get a 29-3 win over Gainesville, and much, much more scores to come. Plus, we'll feature our athlete of the week. We'll tell you who that is. We're going to take a break, though. The Blitz Scoreboard Show. Brent Martineau along with Coos, Stuart Weber, Marcel Robinson, Olivia Tasley, our entire team here on a Friday night. Oh, it's so nice outside for football, high school style in late October. More scores, more highlights still to come. Take you up until 10 o'clock right here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Looks like that's a touchdown for Clay.
Showing you, nope, year 2. I know what this dude wants now. I know this system now. Now, not only can I game manage, but I can show you what Aaron Rodgers is about. As great as I think Russell Wilson is. If they're all playing at their best, Mahomes 1, Rodgers 2, Russell Wilson 3. Those are the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. And then there's a drop-off. I would still put Rodgers, if he's right next to Patrick Mahomes.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekday afternoons at 2 Eastern, on your smart speaker or wherever you stream your audio.
As the seasons change, there's one thing that never changes: the importance of clean drinking water. A Connecticut system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. Now that's clean, and that's also why our family has a Connecticut system from CGC Water. Yours can too. Right now, CGC Water is offering a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier softener. Connecticut Premier softeners are non-electric and have twin tanks, making them super efficient, saving you money. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Schedule your free water test today and get peace of mind knowing your family's water is safe water. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Remember, this is a limited time offer, a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier softener. Financing available with approved credit. Just call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Back to school also means back to Friday night football. Get to the game in style in a new Honda from Honda of the Avenues. Their incredible summer clearance event is going on now to make room for the new 2021 models. Find great deals and haul the whole team in a new Odyssey, Pilot, or CRV. Plus, Hondas are safe and reliable, just what you and your team need. Don't miss kickoff. Stop by the Honda Giant on Phillips Highway just a few yards south of the Avenues to see all their inventory, or start looking right now at HondaoftheAvenues.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, your friend Sean Hannity here. Many of you know I was a former general contractor, so I know what to look for when considering a quality roofer. And Big Fish Roofing is the only roofing company I have endorsed in Jacksonville, and the reason's very clear. Big Fish does not require any upfront payment. Plus, they do quality work every single time. Big Fish Roofing is truly the big fish of roofing in Jacksonville. You can find them online right now at Big Fish Roofing, one word, bigfishroofing.com.
This is Tom Scared for the Borgen Project. Each year, nearly 2 million children die from preventable diseases. Each day, 30,000 people die from hunger. 500 each hour are children. The Borgen Project is turning this around. We need your help. To learn more, go to borgenproject.org. That's BORGEN project.org.
This is Greeny.
I'll tell you who Kyler Murray. People are going to compare him to Michael Vick. He doesn't look anything like Michael Vick to me. People are going to compare him to Lamar Jackson. He doesn't look anything like Lamar Jackson to me. You know who he looks like? If Barry Sanders was a quarterback, he'd have been Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray runs like Barry Sanders. You watch him run, and he's a great quarterback. He's a great thrower of the football. He's the closest thing to Steve Young. That's the best analogy to it.
Greeny, weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio, your smart speaker, and on the ESPN app. Now, back to the Blitz Scoreboard Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues.
Welcome back here to the Blitz Scoreboard Show as we keep an eye on some of the late scores going in. 63-27, Clay really puts it on Ridgeview in our Honda of the Avenues game of the week this Friday night here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. You just saw live pictures of it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. We've been telling you all about it all night long and showing you it. Touchdown late in that game, I think by the second teamers for Clay to put up a 60 spot. Clay is impressive. Got that offense cooking right now over there in Clay County, and Trey Griner and Alcurious Ray, and he had another big night, it looked like. Both those guys had big nights. And the game was 36-21, and then all of a sudden Clay pulled away and scored the next 3 touchdowns, and they end up winning 63-27, our Honda of the Avenues game of the week. Thanks to Honda of the Avenues, we also present to you each and every week the ESPN 690 Athlete of the Week, and this week's nominees, we had a couple of sports represented and 3 different areas represented as well. Ridgeview's Eddie Whipple was one of the nominees. He had 4 touchdowns last week. He was terrific. I think he has 17 touchdowns on the year, I was told. So he has been fantastic for Ridgeview. Obviously, they come up short tonight. 24 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns, 40 carries, over 10 yards a carry, 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a pick 6, and a 46 yards kick return. 17 touchdowns on the season, 10 rushing, 6 receiving, 1 pick 6. How about that for Eddie Whipple? And they were 6-1 coming into the game against Clay, and the Blue Devils put it on them. So congrats to Eddie Whipple. He's one of our nominees. Also, bowler Danielle Fendenheim at the Gateway Conference Bowling Tournament, combined score 570 to win that event. So terrific stuff by Danielle. And she also nominated from Mandarin High School. But our winner this week for our Honda of the Avenues, ESPN 690 Athlete of the Week is Taiwan Lee from Hilliard. Hilliard having a fantastic season. Cornerback, athlete, running back out at Hilliard, 2021. Taiwan Lee, 6'2", 190. He has been terrific. In a game earlier this year, I think he had 7 sacks. Okay, so he does it all, and Taiwan Lee has been fantastic. He is this week's Honda of the Avenues, ESPN 690 Athlete of the Week. Congratulations to Taiwan Lee from Hilliard. I think we have another coach on the line. Is it West Side's Coach DeBose, or is it West Nassau's Ricky Armstrong? That's Coach DeBose. Okay. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well. I've been missing you guys lately. I figured I'd try to catch you before it's too late.
Well, we appreciate that, man. Nice job on the W tonight. Tell us all about it.
Well, it's a tough one, man. For some reason, whenever we play Terry Parker, it's always a dogfight. We got out early a little bit and then bust a few things, and of course it was a squeaker late, so we were able to hold on and run the clock out and get out with a dub.
You, Coach Rodney DeBose, with us here on the Blitz Scoreboard show. You guys played Valdosta. Make sure my calendar is correct. That was last week, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Obviously, they're very good, and how did you think you played in that game, and what kind of growth do you think came from it this week in practice and leading into this win tonight?
I actually think, obviously they're a good program. They're a great program, and that was one of the reasons why we went up there. And we actually didn't play them. The score wasn't quite as indicative of, the way we played. There were some times when we were able to have success against them defensively. Got them on the first drive. We had a sack on the first play of the game. Had them on the 3rd and 19 and busted coverage. Their first touchdown came on a pass that was tipped by my corner and my safety and fell in the hands of their receiver.
Oh, wow.
So it was. We had some chances to get some momentum in the game, but we weren't dominated, and so it was good. I think, of course, you go up there and you run a play, and then all of a sudden you look behind you and there's a jumbotron with the instant replay. My guys were kind of by that stuff a little bit, but no, they're a great program. It did what I wanted it to do. Obviously, I wanted us to play better and represent ourselves a little better on the scoreboard, but we really grew from it. We didn't leave that game feeling like we couldn't play with them. We felt like, man, we really made a lot of mistakes that, weren't reflected in the final score of the game. So I think we came out with some confidence. We also realized that, all we got is us. So, we went up there with our guys and, played, and I think it was a good thing for us. So I'm excited about the prospects of us moving forward.
That's very good. Coach DeBose with us from the West Side Wolverines, coming off a win over Terry Parker tonight. Now 5-3 on the year. You guys having a nice season, and now you roll into Orange Park against Orange Park next week before the playoffs hit. Do you like where you sit right now on the doorstep of the postseason?
Well, I like where we sit, but we're not rolling to Orange Park next week. We have to roll to Yulee. We were blessed to get the play-in game.
Oh, my bad. You're the play-in game. That's right.
So I don't know how that worked out, but I guess it was blind draw, and we were blind. So it worked out. We'll get to go up to Yulee and, see where we are and hopefully get ourselves into the game and play our way in, and then we'll see what's next from there. So we're excited about the opportunity. Like I said, we kind of, we had homecoming tonight, so it was a good way to kind of, give our crowd something and our school something to cheer about with all the battling COVID and contact tracing and all that stuff you're battling these days. So we're excited. We feel like we can go out there and we'll get film exchange and see what we got. We haven't really looked at Yulee too much. It's time to get ready for the next one.
Yeah, I've got you for 2 games next Thursday, Coach. Are you ready for that? Or next week? Is that okay? I got Orange Park and Yulee on the schedule.
Yeah, we were all ready for it until they decided to move Yulee to Thursday, so we decided to just stop on for it.
Yeah. What are you okay with this whole format? I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the alternative was not to play and not to play for something and not to have an opportunity to, compete for a championship or whatever. So, no, I think at the end of the day, I think the FHSA committee, did the right things. I think, I'm very fortunate here to be in Duval that we've been kind of proactive in all the coronavirus contact tracing and things of that nature. So we've been blessed. We've scheduled 7 and we've played 7. So we haven't had to lose a game. We've had a few players, of course, have to sit out because of that type of thing, but we've been able to play them all. And so it gives us a chance. Obviously there's no district champion this year and so forth, so on. But, we're all in. We all got a chance. So obviously I'd like to – actually, for me, I actually don't mind having to play in game. You know, if you guys ever looked at my schedules over the years, I've always liked to play 10 straight anyway. So, you know, we've had a bye week already, and so I guess that's our bye week for the season. Let's roll.
All right. Well, good luck next week against you in the postseason. Thanks for thinking of us tonight, Coach. Glad to get you in here on the show after a win over Terry Parker.
Well, I appreciate it, man. You guys have a blessed night. And again, I appreciate everything you guys do for high school football here in this city.
You bet. You're one of the best. Good luck next week in the postseason. That's Coach DeBose from West Side Wolverines. They get the win over Parker, 5-3 now on the year, and that was my bad. I've got Orange Park on my list next, but because of the play-in game, that game gets bumped, and it's Yulee up next for the West Side Wolverines, and that'll be interesting. Be fun to watch. I think we're going to get Coach Ricky Armstrong on just for like 90 seconds here before the end of the show as we're up against it with coaches, but we love having him on. And West Nassau got a nice win over Andrew Jackson tonight, 24-12. Coach Ricky Armstrong joins us on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Thanks for giving us a buzz, man. How did it go for you tonight? You guys looked good on the road.
Yeah, we played pretty good tonight. We got a lot of injuries that we're trying to fight through, but we played a real good game tonight.
You guys have had maybe a few more losses than normally this year. How are your kids battling through that? I know you've played a tough schedule, but listen, in the grand scheme of things, you got the postseason on the horizon. What's the mentality of your football team?
They still up because we think that one play here and one play there that we could easily be 6-2, 7-2. We're right there, but those injuries has hurt us. We lost 2 or 3 starters on the offensive line, and we lost some other kids too, and it's just killed us. But we're fighting. We're backups are playing, and we're getting there.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, right? Next man up, no doubt about it. Coach Ricky Armstrong with us from West Nassau High School. Nice win over Andrew Jackson on the road tonight, 24-12. I'll leave you with this because we got to run, but I do appreciate you checking in with us. You had that fantastic football game, a fun watch against Fernandina Beach a couple weeks back, and now you get them in the postseason again. You anticipate another shootout?
No, I hope not. We're playing different. So we held Baker, to 3 scores and 3 or 4 scores, and then we played good tonight. So we're changing our defense. We're in the process of changing some stuff that we didn't think we could do, but we're working on it. We're getting better. Hopefully we won't give up as many points here lately.
All right. Well, you got Ridgeview next week first, and then Fernandina Beach in the postseason. Ricky Armstrong, hope you and the family are doing well, man. Good to catch up with you. Thanks for giving us a buzz.
All right, appreciate it, Brent.
You got it, Ricky Armstrong, West Nassau, 3-6 on the year. Nice win tonight. They've had a tough go of it, but they've also got a schedule that's rough and also a lot of injuries, like Coach just said. I mean, they've lost some barn burners like the Fernandina Beach game in overtime. I lost to Baker County, lost to Clay, who's been on a roll, lost to Baldwin by 5. It's been that kind of year, but they get a nice win over Andrew Jackson tonight. Hey. I mean, we can go another 20 minutes, Coos. It's the way this show works. But we had a lot of fun. Thanks for the coaches jumping on in with us here tonight. And we will have all the highlights coming up on the Friday Night Blitz in just a few. 10:30 on Fox 30. Check it out. Half-hour edition. For some, the final week of the regular season. For others, they've got one more before the postseason really gets in full gear. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Blitz Scoreboard Show, brought to you by Honda of the Avenues. We will see you on TV on Fox 30 in a half hour. Thanks to Coos, Marcel Robinson, Stuart Weber, Olivia Tassley, all the coaches for jumping in. I'm Brent Martineau. Have a great weekend. Have a great Halloween weekend. And we'll see you in a bit on Fox 30.
Donato's Pizza is